Hello and welcome to Elderly Moments. I'm Olivia, 71, and today I want to share something that truly changed my life. For years, I struggled with sleep. I'd go to bed early, hoping for rest, but I would lie awake for hours. Sometimes I'd fall asleep and wake up every hour, my mind racing, my body aching. I thought it was just part of aging, something you learn to live with. But it wasn't until a quiet conversation with a retired nurse at my church group that everything began to shift. She told me about a natural tea blend she had read about: chamomile, valerian root, lemon balm, and lavender. At first, it sounded like any other remedy I had tried before, but she said something that stuck with me. Sometimes the body just needs a little whisper, not a scream, to remember how to sleep. That night, I made the tea just as she described. The scent alone felt like a warm embrace. I drank it slowly, sitting by my kitchen window, letting the quiet of the evening settle over me. For the first time in years, I fell asleep within 15 minutes and didn't wake up until morning. I thought it was a fluke, but the next night, the same thing happened. And the night after that, after a week, I realized I wasn't just sleeping better, I was feeling better during the day. My headache stopped, my joints ached less, even my mood was lighter. I started researching why this tea works so well. Scientists have found that compounds in chamomile and valerian root bind to brain receptors in a similar way that sleeping pills do, but naturally and without side effects. Lavender lowers heart rate and blood pressure, preparing your body for rest. Lemon balm calms the nervous system, especially for those who deal with anxiety or racing thoughts. I started adding small rituals to support the effect of the tea. I dimmed the lights in my house an hour before bedtime. I turned off the television and stopped scrolling through my phone. Instead, I would read a few pages from an old book or listen to soft piano music. It was like I was retraining my body to understand when it was time to sleep. I also made sure not to drink the tea too hot. The warmth should comfort, not jolt. And I used a ceramic cup, the same one every night, which strangely helped my brain associate it with bedtime. After 2 weeks of deep, uninterrupted sleep, I visited my doctor. She was surprised by my energy and how well I looked. When I told her what I had changed, she smiled and said, "Olivia, you've just activated your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of the body that heals when you rest." Her words confirmed what I already knew. I was healing, not just sleeping. Sleep, I discovered, isn't only about feeling rested. It's about memory, metabolism, and even immune strength. Seniors who don't sleep well are more likely to develop cognitive decline. But once we begin to prioritize sleep, truly prioritize it, everything begins to improve. I told a few of my friends at our weekly bingo night about my new routine. Within a week, 2 of them called to say they had tried the tea and had their first full night of sleep in months. We laughed, we shared stories, and I realized something. Healing becomes easier when it's shared. I even began keeping a small notebook where I write down how I feel each morning, a little journal of peace. Now, it's been almost 3 months since I started this journey. I've barely had a bad night since. Sure, there are occasional restless evenings. We all have them. But now, I know how to gently bring myself back to balance. My tea has become a symbol of comfort, a signal that it's time to let go of the day. I even gifted jars of the herbal blend to my children, though they laughed at first. "Mom's becoming a sleep guru," they joked. But guess what? My daughter, who has 2 kids and a full-time job, now swears by it too. Sometimes, it takes hitting a wall to finally listen to what your body's been trying to say for years. My wall was chronic fatigue and mood swings. For others, it might be constant illness or anxiety. But if there's one thing I can say to anyone over 70 who feels like sleep is no longer possible, don't give up. Nature still works. You just have to give it a chance. In fact, I started experimenting with different additions to my tea. A slice of dried orange peel for flavor, a pinch of cinnamon for warmth, a touch of honey when my throat feels dry. It's not just a beverage anymore, it's a ritual. A small act of self-care that says, I deserve to feel well. So tonight, if you're tossing and turning, I invite you to try this. Brew a simple tea: chamomile, valerian, lemon balm, and lavender. Turn off the lights, open a book, and just give yourself permission to rest. Let your breath slow down. Let the day go. You are not alone. Many of us walk this path quietly, but the results are worth sharing. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Elderly Moments for more comforting tips, life stories, and wellness advice tailored for seniors like us. Check out our other videos too. You never know what might help or inspire you next. And I'd love to hear from you. Do you have your own evening routine? Have you tried herbal sleep remedies? Leave a comment. We're all learning from each other. Sleep well, dear friends. You've earned it.